Hello. In Lyme Regis, Dorset, a small two-storey pavilion was built in a prominent position overlooking the Cobb and Lyme Bay around 1772 by Simon Bunter, who called it Bunter's Castle. Simon Bunter was the son of a Dorset brewer who qualified as a lawyer, set up in practice in Axminster and married the daughter of a merchant from Lyme Regis. Lyme developed as a direct result of the construction of the Cobb, which is believed to have been around 1300. The curving breakwater created an artificial harbour, enabling Lyme to flourish as a port and as a centre of shipbuilding. The Cobb's been extended and repaired and rebuilt over the centuries, and it's famously where Louisa Musgrove fell, jumping from the steps known as Granny's Teeth in Jane Austen's Persuasion. In 1783, the lease of Bunter's Castle passed to Samuel Coade, and a year later to his niece Eleanor. The Coades built a villa incorporating the small pavilion. We met Eleanor Coade when we looked at Tixall Gatehouse in part 2 of this series. Her renowned Coade Stone, manufactured in Lambeth, was a new, highly durable, artificial building material very successfully marketed by Eleanor. The villa the Coades built has plenty of Coade Stone embellishments, including urns on the roof, a head of Neptune above the front door, Coade Stone keystones and window dressings, and vermiculated Coade Stone coins. Inside the house, delicate Coade Stone decoration adorns dado rails, architraves and chimney pieces. After Eleanor's death, the house was occupied by a succession of tenants, the first of which renamed it Belmont. In the 1880s, a 3-storey observatory with a conical roof was added. Astronomical observatories were not uncommon in Victorian England, but very few have survived. Around the same time, wings were built on either side of the house, along with a conservatory. These extensions were removed in 1959 or very shortly afterwards, leaving the observatory as a separate structure. From 1968, Belmont belonged to John Fowles, author of The Magus and The Collector, amongst other works. It was bought by the Landmark Trust in 2007. And during restoration work, elements of the original Bunter's Castle pavilion were discovered in what is now the kitchen and in a sitting room above. What is now the main sitting room of the house, with sweeping views of Lyme Bay, is where John Fowles wrote The French Lieutenant's Woman. Belmont is usually described as a maritime villa, a type of house that appeared with the promotion of the health benefits of sea air and of bathing and the growing popularity of seaside holidays from the late 18th century. Houses built to take advantage of sea views. Belmont was originally given listed status largely because of the Eleanor Coade connection, but it is also important architecturally and historically as an early example of a maritime villa and for its observatory. Built with sea views for a rather different reason were a chain of towers known as Martello Towers, and one of these at Aldborough in Suffolk was acquired by the Landmark Trust in 1971. Martello Towers were first built in the 1790s during the French Revolutionary Wars to protect Britain from the threat of invasion. Their design is based on a 16th century fortress at Punta Mortella in Corsica. There are slight variations, but typically they are of 2 storeys, standing around 12 metres high and of a similar diameter, with a flat roof. Thick walls and a circular shape were designed to withstand and deflect cannon shot. Artillery could be mounted on the flat roof and rotated to provide an all-round field of fire. The lower floor was used as a store for supplies and ordnance, the upper floor divided into rooms. Most Martello Towers could accommodate a garrison of up to 25 personnel. Aldborough was among the last to be built, between 1808 and 1812. When construction started, The threat of invasion from Napoleon's Grand Army was at its height. It has a more advanced quatrefoil plan and housed 4 cannon on its roof and had a garrison strength of around 40. Over 100 Martello towers were built in England, mainly around the south and east coasts. Advances in artillery rendered them obsolete by the mid-19th century. Just under half have survived as monuments. Some have been repurposed as museums or as visitor centres, and some became private houses. For a time, the tower at Aldborough was used as a signal station before being abandoned. After being sold in 1931, it was converted as a holiday retreat and then a private home, before being acquired and restored as an unusual holiday let by the Landmark Trust in 1971. Next time, I'm going to take a look at 2 former gamekeepers' cottages. If you've enjoyed this video, hit the like and subscribe buttons and click on the notification bell to be informed when the next video is available, or you can subscribe by clicking on the rose window over my shoulder.